Hello, I'm Claire Louise Hay from BeHealing.com. I've made a new pick a card read for you. What are they regretting? What's your person regretting about your relationship or your interactions with them or past interactions with them? Let's find out. So I've made 3 readings here for that, for you to choose from. And each one of them has a deeper dive as well, an extended version. In that extended version, I'm going to go more into guidance for you. Guidance for you in the situation you find yourself in right now. Guidance for you in this relationship, so how to make it work really well, what you need to know about the dynamics, and also how this is all going to play out and timelines for all of that. So if you're interested in that, toward the end of each of these readings, there's going to be a link that pops up there. You can find a link for that in the description box and in the comments box below as well, where you'll also find your timestamps to fast forward to your reading. So all you need to do now is take your pick. Which one do you want? Do you want this moonstone crystal? Would you like the flower? Or this shell? Take your pick now. Trust your intuition on it. Don't forget to leave a comment. It really helps my channel out when you do that, as does clicking like on this video as well. And consider being a subscriber if you're not already. Thank you if you are already. Click that subscribe button along with that notification bell, and you'll find out when I'm going live in my 3 times a week live shows. Psychic Cafe, I would love to see you in that. Enjoy your reading. I will see you in that. If you chose the crystal, this one's for you. Let's find out. What do they regret? What does your person regret? Now, as always, crystals, there's going to be a deeper dive to this. That's an extended reading that goes with this. So if you find that it is your story, it could be your story, you might want to get that toward the end of the reading. There'll be a link that pops up there. You can find a link for that in the description box and in the comments as well. And in that, I'm going to go into guidance for you. Guidance for you in the situation you find yourself in right now. Guidance for you within this relationship as well, what you need to know about them, what you need to know about yourself, possible dynamics, how to make it work really well. Also, how this might all work out as well, how it might go down, how you might come together or come back together or whatever it is that's going to go on. And also timelines for that. So let's get into it. Let's get you some cards out. What is it that your person is regretting? What do they regret? Do they have regrets? Yes, they do, apparently. Let's see. They're regretting tending the future or not tending to the future. So it seems that they moved a little bit too fast. I was getting this before I even clicked on record for this video, that Crystal's person is regretting moving too fast. Starting this off, this relationship with you, starting their approach too hastily, not thinking about the long term of it, not tending to the future is what they're regretting now. Let's find out more. So there's something in their approach to you at the start that maybe isn't the way that they wanted to do things. They're afraid that they've given you the wrong impression. Cozy home here. So it could have something to do with you, your home, or their home. Or them realizing now that they want to have this cozy home with you. They want to have a long-term thing with you. That's what it seems like. They want to have a long-term thing with you, but they're regretting the initial approach here. Let's find out more. What are they regretting? What are they regretting? What's Crystal's person regretting? The Magician. Oh. So it's like they were manifesting this. They were manifesting for the long term, but then you came in and then they didn't realize that this is what they were manifesting. You know, when we don't truly appreciate what's in front of us until it's too late. And then we're like, oh damn, I should have been in it for the long term. That's what I'm getting from the Magician. I will get some clarifying cards out for each of these. 6 of Pentacles, about not reciprocating that energy. It's almost like they didn't see you clearly at the start, even though they were manifesting you. They didn't see you as clearly what they were manifesting, and so they didn't reciprocate properly. They didn't give you that same energy back that you were giving them, and they regret that. It could just be that they didn't see you clearly at the start. They could have had some assumptions about you. Told to take all of them. Okay, so then we have the Hermit. So They're regretting holding back from you. Again, it's like that reciprocation energy. They're regretting holding back their energy. Maybe hermiting away, maybe turning you down. It could be about that home thing, whatever that is, and not inviting you in, or going to your home and not appreciating that. I don't know, something like that. The Hierophant, taking things seriously, doing things the traditional way. I do feel like it's the first approach that they made toward you. They're regretting the way that they did that. They wish that they'd done things in the traditional way here. And the Fool card came out too. I was going to put it away, but I was told not to. So there is some element of taking a risk here. Maybe they took a risk and they wish that they hadn't have taken a risk with you there. Well, let's find out. Let's get clarifiers out for all of these. So the Magician, they were manifesting you, but they didn't recognize it as their manifestations. I wonder why. What's behind this? Why have we got the Magician card out here for crystals? Why the Magician for crystals? Why the Magician for crystals? The Tower, the Devil, and Justice. Because you were a lesson for them in this. It's almost like they had to do that. They had to have that tower fall. So you probably rejected them then. You probably said, hey, not like this, mate. Not like, no, you don't. You're not reciprocating or whatever. It feels to me like they've come in and you've given them an inch kind of thing. They've taken a mile and then you're like, no. Push them away. Said no to this. The tower fell, but they needed that in order to get the justice. So it's almost like you had to stand up. That your person here wasn't going to treat you right until you stood up to them and said, hey, no. They needed that. So this is someone who has almost got away with not reciprocating, of not realizing what is in front of them, of not appreciating properly. And so to get what they want, the justice, the manifestation, they needed to come in, and then they needed to be rejected by it, of you to say no. Look how she's doing the whole no thing there. No, and the tower falling there. So they actually needed that to get their justice, to be able to manifest it. So you were like the perfect manifestation for them to stand up to them. And so good for you, crystals. It seems to me like you did that. You stood up for what you knew was right and said, not like that. So you recognized their approach was off and you stood up to them there. And so this was about you integrating a lesson that you'd learned there as well, standing up for yourself, having those boundaries. And it was a lesson for them to integrate it as well. Like I said, from that Magician, I was getting, they've asked for this. So this is like someone that's asked maybe for their person, for their soulmate now and all of that. And then you come into their life and they're like not appreciating it, not giving enough to it, not holding it sacred and all of that, not being in it for the long term. And you've said no. Six of Pentacles, so they weren't reciprocating, huh? They weren't putting as much energy into it. They weren't offering you things. They just weren't treating you right, is what it feels like here. And I'm not getting like this is a particularly abusive person or anything like that. It could be in your case, but I'm not getting that. I'm just getting a lack of reciprocation. So they weren't putting as much energy into this as you were. Lack of reciprocation. So they regret not reciprocating, not giving you more. It's that song. I can't remember who sings it. I should have bought you flowers. It's that kind of an energy. Death. It's their old ways. It's the way that they've been. They haven't had to reciprocate. They've offered very little in relationships. They haven't needed to. They've been on the take. Your person has been on the take in relationships, and that old them needs to die. So it's almost like you had to give them this lesson of saying, hey, no, I deserve more than that. They needed to be rejected. I'm getting a strong sense of that you rejected them here because of that. And that would have broken your heart, but they needed that because they needed the rebirth in order to have what it is that they wanted. that they were trying to manifest. They needed to learn this about themselves. Hey, you can't have that, is what the universe and the higher self are saying. You can't have that if you don't put the effort in there. You can't get that if you're not going to appreciate them when it comes along. You're not going to get that if you're not in it for the long term. You're not going to get that if you're not providing this security for them and the cozy home. You can't just go into it and take. So they needed that. They needed that lesson. So I wonder if this is a lesson relationship then, if it was lessons for both of you, a chance for you to practice this standing up for what you want and saying no, and for them to, well, transformation is what they got behind that. And so they needed to transform the way that they look at things and stop being such a taking kind of an energy there. So they regret withdrawing their energy. I just feel like they took advantage in a way, that they let you do all the work. They didn't speak up and tell you their feelings. They didn't make the effort, and they didn't put that energy in. Instead, they withdrew from it, allowed you to do all of it, and then wonder why they miss out, right? And then they wonder why they miss out. The Page of Emotions, so immature energy here. They were just kind of wishing. They were wishing that they'd attracted the person in that was going to do all the work, and they kind of had in you, crystals, is what I'm hearing here. But then you are that person, but you've learned from that, right? And so you'll get into that situation, and then you'll recognize it, like, I'm not doing this again. So you're both kind of this naive energy, but you're both learning here that doesn't serve you. So yeah, they seem like they're a little bit behind in the lessons to you, maybe not so far behind there. But good on you for standing up to them. So they're regretting pulling their energy back from you here. They were kind of naive to do that. This could be someone that's like learned stupid things like treat them mean and keep them keen, you know. And so they actually think that it's a right approach to take, or a useful approach to take, to not offer that energy, and they're regretting that now. Psychic development. So going against their intuition. Their intuition was saying love crystals, but then their programming was like treat crystal mean to keep them there. Well, it backfired on them, didn't it? They have to trust their heart. They're learning to trust their heart. They're realizing that they should have trusted the heart rather than what the mates were saying or something like that, or what they'd been taught to do. So they're regretting not doing things the traditional way, the Hierophant here. Not doing the things the traditional way. That's taking things slowly. It's being stable. It's treating you like the Empress. It's a solid, stable base with the Muse of Materials of, you know, like the very slow dating and respect. The Empress card is a lot of respect there. So they're regretting not appreciating you. It's what it is, really. There's a lack of stability and appreciation in their approach here, and they're really regretting doing that. They wish that they would have done things the traditional way. But your person is regretting what they've missed out on here. Sexual energy is behind that. So they could have just come in like that. Sexual energy, just kind of using you, taking from you, instead of respecting you properly and taking it slowly. But what is this? The Fool. Taking a risk. Regret taking a risk. Eight of Voices. Bound. Or they regret not taking a risk to free themselves from binds? Not taking the risk to change their patterns. I've got the feeling like your person was trying to manifest something different now, and then they ended up manifesting you, but doing exactly the same thing as they do with everyone else. And they're like, what did I do that for? Bound to playing these same patterns instead of taking the risk to do things differently this time. What's behind this? So you do have a kind of a person that needs to awaken here. Yes, someone that's learning. It's got teaching behind that as well. So they needed they needed you as a teacher to say, no, you don't do that. Or if you're doing that, you're not doing it with me. Off you go. Tell us more. They're regretting not expressing the love, so they haven't. I was getting that. They haven't told you how they properly feel about you, and now they don't have the chance. I don't feel like you've probably closed the door on them and have closed down the communication. Or if you haven't closed down the communication and blocked them, then they're too scared to get in touch with you. They're really regretting not expressing the love when it would have been easy for them. So your person didn't offer a lot of energy at all, neither in the communication of expressing themselves, not in the respecting you and their approach and all of that, and they're really regretting that, all of that, because they're missing out on what it is that they want, and they're realizing that now, but it is a lesson that they needed to have. Tell us more. What are they regretting? Conclusions are within reach. It's almost like they got part of these lessons, they knew what to do, but then they didn't do it. So they're getting there, they are learning this. I mean, it's given them a lot of clarity, this situation. But whether it's too late, I don't know. We'll get into that in the deeper dive. Hey, is it too late? Like, have they wrecked this already? Or was this a lesson for you? So that next time your next relationship is better, or is this one where you can turn this around? We'll find out in the deeper dive. We've got tolerance here as well. Tolerance. What is this? Regret tolerating something. Regret tolerating something. It feels like themselves. I mean, I don't see why this card applies here. Tolerance. You appreciate others' points of view because you sense the love in everyone. Maybe your person here was tolerating other people's, the mate's point of view or something like that too much. Like, we were getting that they weren't listening to the heart. They needed to listen to their heart and trust their intuition. They weren't doing that. So maybe they were just like tolerating other people that shouldn't have been listening to, kind of thing. It could be that. Let's find out more. What are they regretting? The butterfly. Not taking it to the next level. Yeah? Relationship evolving to the next phase. Healing the inner child and growing. So they are regretting not transforming, not changing things, not doing things differently than they did before. Your person, the first card out there is very important, the Magician. They were manifesting you. And you probably felt that. And then you probably thought, well, what the hell? If you want this, then you've got to do what it takes to get it. You can't just like manifest me in there and then, you know, not reciprocate. Keeping a positive mindset. They're regretting keeping a positive mindset here. So it's like they manifest you and then you do all the work. They're regretting being so positive. So I think your person had this naive kind of belief that manifest you in it and that's all that they need to do. And then you'll do the work in this and they don't need to change what they're doing. They regret that. So they did need to change another approach here. They did just change their approach and they didn't do it. So this is a case that they've manifested what they wanted, but then they've not. They've done it. They've manifested it prematurely, kind of thing, before they've become that person that can actually do. That can actually have this relationship that they wanted. Let's get a message out from their heart to your heart. So now they've got the opportunity to express that love to you. What do they want to say to you? Maybe about these regrets or about this situation? What do they want to say to you? Rest and relaxation is essential. We all have a fundamental need to take a break. So they do need a break from this. This isn't going to happen. If this turns around, this isn't going to happen fast because your person is beating themselves up at the moment. They will be. They need a break from this to figure it out. very much in healing mode there. This is like the Four of Swords energy of that, you know, recuperation kind of thing. They've got a lot of thinking to do, your person here. And so they need to take a break here, is what they're saying. So not going to happen fast. So there you go. That sounds like it is your story. It could be a story. You might want to get that deeper dive for some guidance for you in this situation. Let's see where this is going to go. Can this be resurrected? Is this going to proceed forward? Are they going to do this? Let's find that out. What are they going to do? Let's find that out. But most importantly, let's get some guidance for you in this situation. What are you learning from it? What do you need to learn from it? How can you get past this or into it? Let's do all of that in the deeper dive. So if you're interested in that, I'll pop a link for it up there. It's just 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant download, which means you need to get your email address right, otherwise you're not going to receive it. The email might end up in your inbox, but it might also end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder. So check in those places. And in that email, you'll find a link to the crystal, the flower, and the shell. You click on that crystal and you can watch that instantly. Thank you so much for your support of my channel, for watching this. Don't forget to click like on this video. If you want me to continue making these videos, I need your support. Only you can make my channel successful by clicking, by commenting as well. It's very important that you comment. Don't just leave it up to the complainers, because I have to turn the music up so I get comments. Because if I turn the music up and people complain about the music, I get thousands more views because you've commented on it. So let's beat that. Instead of me having to provoke you into comments, why not comment anyway? That would be really helpful on my channel. Consider subscribing as well and click on that notification bell to hear more from me when I upload my videos, but also when I go live as well in my Psychic Cafe show, so you can get your personal questions answered in there from your higher self. Thanks again for watching. If you're not coming with me, then good luck with this relationship. If you are coming with me into that extended, I'll see you very shortly in there. Hello, flowers. If you chose the flower, then this one is for you. Let's find out, what's your person regretting? Now, as always, flowers, is going to be a deeper dive to this. That is an extended video reading that goes with this. If you find that this is your story or could be a story, you might want to get that. I'll put a link up there for it toward the end of the reading, and also in the description box and in the comments. But in that, I'm going to go into guidance for you in the situation you find yourself in right now. Guidance for you in this relationship. So what you need to know about yourself, what you need to know about them, possible dynamics, how to make it work really well. And how this might all go down as well. How things might change, how we might come together, how they might come back in, how it might get sorted out, whatever it is. And also timelines for all of that as well. So let's get into it. Let's find out, what are they regretting? What is your person regretting here, flowers? Grace of not going with the flow. They regret not going with the flow. They might have been dismissive of you or the situations, not seizing the moment, not going with the flow. They could have been trying to control it instead. They could have been letting their fears overtake them and controlling the situation. But they regret not going with the flow here. And it was just like, maybe they weren't taking the opportunities when they had the opportunities with you. You know, like putting off dates or going out with the mates instead, something like that. Tending the garden, so they regret not putting effort into it. It's a bit of a running theme with these. You might want to check out the crystals reading. They regret not tending the garden, not doing the things that they needed to do, not putting enough effort into the relationship. Especially when it was easy, when it was in the flow, when they could have easily kind of given to you or got you flowers or done that romantic thing or asked you on a date or gone on that date instead of letting you down. If we don't take those opportunities, you know, when it's in the flow and it's easy, it gets harder and harder and harder. You know, it's like having to have a conversation with someone and say a tricky thing. It just gets harder the longer we leave it. It doesn't get easier. And then it's like, why didn't I just do it straight away? If I'd have done it straight away, it wouldn't be so hard. That's where your person's at. The Wheel of Fortune. They regret not ending a cycle to start a new cycle. So they could have had someone or something from the past continuing on in their life instead of ending that and moving forward. This could be about a third party thing. It could be for some that they regret not ending a relationship before you, or just not ending a situation, a pattern that they were doing. I'll get clarifiers out for all of these. What are they regretting? Let's find out more. The flowers. What are flowers person regretting here? The Nine of Wands, not healing themselves. Wow, not healing and dealing with something. Maybe when the timing was right again. Not having boundaries here. It feels like this is to someone else. It's not to you. Not healing a situation, not ending a cycle, not healing a situation, not having boundaries to that person. They could have been putting someone else first just to placate them instead of dealing with it properly and healing it and putting an end to it. That would have been very frustrating for you. Tell us more. Not that much more. What are they regretting? A lot, apparently. King of Swords. Oh, there's the Queen of Swords and the King of Swords. Divine counterparts there, but very much in their heads. I feel like they were people pleasing with someone in the past instead of putting you first here. And they're regretting doing that. Queen of Swords and King of Swords, they have boundaries. They're very much in their heads there. Let's get one more out. What are they regretting? The Empress, they're regretting not treating you like the queen or king that you are. This is ultimate respect, thinking a lot of you. They didn't. Well, they might have thought a lot of you, but they certainly didn't. The behavior didn't. It wasn't respectful as much as it should have been. I'm not saying they disrespected you, but they seem to be respecting someone from the past here more. And not ending that cycle, not completing that cycle with them, not standing up to them. Now, it might not be a third party. Well, a third party, I'm not talking about, it could have been a romantic relationship. It could be the ex or someone that they were with. It could be that, but it also could be like a parent or something like that, that kind of a third party, of pleasing them rather than pleasing you. So they could be like pandering to someone else instead of standing up for you. So they could have had someone in their life who was kind of mean to you and they didn't stand up for you, you know. It could be that, especially with that Queen and King of Swords there. But you are showing up as a divine pairing here. Why have we got the wheel? Why the Wheel of Fortune here? The World. That's it. Ending a cycle. Almost when it was in the flow, they could have ended that cycle and didn't. It's like they weren't courageous enough, or they just didn't take that opportunity that they could have taken to complete that cycle, to end it. To stop doing what they did before. For some of you, this could be an addiction or something like that. The third party could be a substance or something like that. It could be that. In other words, they know that their addiction wrecks relationships, and they wish that they hadn't gone back to their addiction at the start of this relationship, or hadn't continued it on there. It could be that for some. Whatever it is, they're regretting not ending something, not completing that cycle, because they're going to have to do it anyway. They know that they're going to have to complete that cycle anyway at some point. Joy and feminine energy. So they could have been really happy in this feminine energy. Them, whichever way around it is, or you're the feminine energy, they could have been really happy. But they didn't. They didn't take that opportunity when they had that chance to end something. It feels to me like they procrastinated it. They went for easy life instead. You were giving them less grief than the other person was giving them, and so they handed to them instead of to you. Not good, hey, not good. So they didn't heal something. They regret not healing something. The Emperor, and not standing up, and not being in control of this and standing up. How interesting, because I was getting with that, the regret not going with the flow and trying to be in control of it. So it's almost backfired on them that. What they could have controlled was themselves and and letting go of the past stuff and healing themselves, but they didn't. Instead, they tried to control the situation with you. So there could have been lies and deceptions involved here, like they were trying to balance two lives up, keep the past thing, keep them happy in the past, but also keep you happy too. And none of it worked for them. So they were using their control in the wrong way. They could have used their control for themselves, to heal themselves and to end that thing. That's where they could have taken control of their lives. It's the same for any of us. We don't have control over the external world and other people. If we try and do that, then it's a negative expression of it. It's trying to take power over people. But our true power lies within ourselves, healing ourselves and the way that we think about things are what we're creating in our lives. And if we take control of that, if we take our power there, then good things can come out of that. So pretty much your person is just being a human being here. What's behind that? Honoring your energy. Yeah, they should have put you first and kind of put them and their ease second. They should have done the hard thing and let go of the past, but they didn't, because you were giving them less grief. And that's not to say you should have given them more grief. Absolutely not. I mean, take care of your own karma first, right? You've got to do that. Sometimes we can kind of get our own way, but it's not a good thing to get our own way, to use our ego to get our own way. So if you are behaving as badly as the person in the past, that could have got you what you wanted, but it wouldn't have lasted because you would have got karma from it, right? Okay, why the Queen of Swords? So they regret not having a boundary. Or they regret not seeing you as their counterpart. That's what these two cards can be about here, the Queen and the King of Swords. But I take the Queen of Swords as being more like the boundaries, and the King of Swords being more like the getting clarity and the thinking right. So why the Queen of Swords, the boundaries? The Wheel of Fortune, again, about the timing thing of it all and the ease of it. When it was in flow, they could have done it. Set that boundary. The Six of Materials, about reciprocation. So if they'd have acted in the moment, it would have been so much easier for them. Again, this is about the past stuff. So there's some way that they can't fully reciprocate, or they couldn't fully reciprocate with you because they've not, and they still can't, is what I'm getting, because they've not dealt with that past thing first, which stops them from reciprocating. The Six of Materials, putting their energy in, whether that's the money or the time or whatever. They're divided. This person is still like, they're trying to move forward with you, or they were trying to move forward with you without sorting the past out first. Can't do that. The wheel has got to turn. So for the wheel to turn, you've got to let go of the past, To climb up a ladder, you've got to, it is about stepping up, but it's also about taking your foot off the rung below. Both need to be done. What's behind this? So they regret not having the boundaries there and doing what this should have done. Letting go. The reunion of souls so that they could come together with you. King of Swords, so they regret not having the clarity to do that, is what I'm going to think. Or maybe they regret losing you as a counterpart as well. Queen of Swords there. The Nine of Materials. Independent. You there, being independent. Maybe they're in a codependent relationship with someone else here. And there's you being independent and free. And they stayed in the codependent situation. And they're regretting that instead of letting their counterpart in, someone that's independent. So your person is seeing you as independent energy here and free. But they didn't free themselves up to be a match to that. You maybe thought that they were this energy, because maybe they were hoping to be this energy, and probably they're projecting that energy outwards. And that's why you were attracted to them. But then you found out, oh, they're not free after all. I thought they were a match to my energy, but they're not. So they're regretting losing their counterpart here. If they have lost you, I don't know. We'll find out in that deeper dive whether it's going to come together or not. Ancient wisdom. They should have listened to the ancient ones, the wise ones that have told them about this. They could have had like a wise friend or relative, someone saying to them about this, you'll regret this, you'll lose this person, you need to let go of that, you need to sort that stuff out. But for some of you, they've got like one wise person around them that they're talking to. They're probably not saying this stuff to many people because it feels like they're in an old situation here, so they could be keeping you a secret kind of thing for some of you. Why the Empress? So they regret not respecting you, not holding you in high regard there, not respecting you, not recognizing you, honoring your energy. We've got counterparts here as well, Empress and the Emperor, that was honoring your energy there. They regret not honoring your energy and being strong to the other people and having their wishes, like putting their wishes and your wishes first. What's this one? Ace of Voices for like this new start with you, for a wise start. You're a good choice. And they do choose you, it's their wishes, but they weren't strong enough to stand up to whoever that is in the past. And as a result, they ended up like not respecting you and not putting you, not first, but putting them and their wishes and you and your wishes first, you know? Putting a problem person first. Putting a problem first is what they did instead of putting their wishes first. So they weren't strong enough. They regret not being strong enough there to stand up for themselves. What's behind that is letting go. They weren't strong enough to let go. They weren't strong enough to let go. It feels to me like they just upheld the status quo because it was easier, because you would be in less trouble than in the past. That's what I've said already. What are they regretting? What are Flowers person regretting here? I'm sorry you're going through this, Flowers. Let's find out in that deeper dive if this is going to move forward, if they're going to sort this out and how they're going to sort it out. And let's get some guidance for you as well in this situation. What can be done here? Or how can you get over this? This might have knocked your self-esteem. What are they regretting? Past life relationship and heart-to-heart conversation. So they do feel this strong, not attraction, yes they feel that, but like soulmates kind of an energy here, like a recognition of you, like you should be together, the reunion of souls that came out there. So you're their person. They regret not having a heart-to-heart conversation, so they regret not expressing their love here and honestly discussing what was going on with them. They regret not being upfront with you and telling you about it here. They feel like you could have helped them. Not that it's your position to do that, because we don't want to get into a codependency like that, but you might have, if they were upfront and honest with you, you might have drawn a boundary to them and said, like, that's not on. So they regret not being, not having a heart-to-heart conversation with you and not being clear about where they were at. They regret not being honest with you, hey? Fully honest with you. So they regret not being intimate with you, like, yeah, not being honest and intimate with you right away. Have faith in your dreams and the energy is gaining momentum. That's what I said. With that Grace card, it's like it gets worse and worse, doesn't it? It gets harder and harder if you don't do it right at the start. It gets harder and harder. It's like ripping a band-aid off. You just need to do it. And the fear, when the fear takes over and the situation just gets worse and worse and worse. So have faith in your dreams. Again, there's that, your wishes here, the star. Your wishes and their wishes. They have some faith in that, but it is getting worse for them. It's like the longer they procrastinate this ending thing, the harder it gets for them. But they might be in that energy at the moment of beating themselves up. It's like, why didn't I do it at the start? But when's the best time to plant a tree? It is now. Sure, it was 10 years ago, but it's now. But if we're like, I should have planted it 10 years ago, we're missing the opportunity right now to plant that seed. So they could be in that energy now of not taking action now, instead of seeing, if I don't do it right now, it's going to be even harder down the line. What are they regretting? Cooperation and respect. Yeah, absolutely. They're regretting not respecting you more, not honoring your energy more, and cooperation, not cooperating. So you could have had some like input. This could have been easier for them. You might have asked them to do something and then they didn't cooperate. They regret not making the effort for sure. But it's not even the effort towards you, it's like the effort to let go of the past. Oh, it's heavy. The golden mirror, self-absorbed narcissist, one-sided relationship, love bombing. So that's what they could be in here with a narcissist or some kind of codependency going on here, a one-sided relationship. They regret not ending that. Whether it's a romantic relationship or a family relationship, they're in some kind of a toxic dynamic there. Okay, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it. Let's just get a message from their heart to your heart out here. So maybe about this situation, about their regrets. What does their heart say to your heart? So what do they truly want to say to you, this heart-to-heart conversation that they didn't right now? Ask for help. What do you really need? Be willing to accept support. So this is them saying, like, ask them. It's almost like they're wanting you to give them an easy way out of this, or to invite their energy in by asking them to do something. So they're willing you to ask them to do something. I'm not getting a good energy from this though, because I'm getting a help me out here. You asked me to do something and then that's going to create a problem here and then I will face up to it. I think this is really theirs to face up to it. I wouldn't do this if I were you. I wouldn't give them an out like this. I would let them get into that emperor energy and sort it out themselves. Not have you be the catalyst in this. But yeah, that's what the heart's saying, is ask me for help. Ask me to do something. I wouldn't do it if I were you. I would let them. But we'll go into that, all of that guidance in the deeper dive. So if that sounds like it is your story or could be your story, you might want to get that. I'll pop a link for it up there. Just 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant download. You can find a link for that in the description box and in the comments as well. It's an instant download, so do get your email address right, otherwise you're not going to receive it. And it might end up in your inbox, but it might also end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places. In that email, you'll find a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. You just click on that flower, and you can watch that instantly. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment. It really helps my channel if you comment. Don't just leave it up to the people complaining about the music. Because if I turn the music up, I get more traction on these videos because more people comment on how the music is too loud. It would be so much nicer if I didn't have to do that and you'd comment on it and then thousands of people would watch my video. And don't forget to click like as well. That really helps my channel out. Thank you for doing that. And consider subscribing as well if you like these readings. If they're helpful to you, consider subscribing and click that notification bell to find out when I upload these videos and also when I go live as well in my Psychic Cafe show. I would love to have you in there. And so if this is where I'm leaving you, thank you so much for watching. I hope this has helped you out. If you're coming along with the deeper dive, then I'll see you very shortly to give you some more guidance on all of this. Bye. If you chose the shell, this one's for you. Let's find out, shells, what your person regrets. Now, as always, shells, there's going to be a deeper dive to this, so an extended video reading that goes with this. And in that, I'm going to go into guidance for you in this situation you find yourself in right now. Whether you're dealing with it emotionally, whether there's something that you need to change, something you need to take action on. Also guidance for you in this relationship. So if you guys do come together, what you need to know about them, what you need to know about yourself, and possible dynamics, how to make it work really well, and how this might all go down as well, how you might come together or come back into each other's lives, or what's going to happen. Possible timelines for all of that. So if you're interested in that, toward the end of the reading, there's going to be a link that pops up there. You can find a link for that in the description box and in the comments as well below. So let's find out, what is your person regretting, shells? What a shell's person regretting? dance with joy. Regretting dancing with you. Regretting celebrating with you. Regretting not taking those moments to experience joy with you. So they might not have seized the day kind of thing when the timing was right for them there. Not put a lot of effort into that, into celebrations and just the joyful parts of life. So they could have been quite serious, not so romantic or I want to say frivolous, but I don't mean frivolous. I mean like recognizing that joy and celebrations and the good times, and they could have done more for you, you know, to make you happy here. Unconditional love. Wow. So your person might have regretted not loving you right. I'm getting a seriousness about them. Are they really serious, your person? They might have let you down. Instead of doing the romantic thing, or they might not have invited you to celebrations as well. It could be that. They wish they'd have put more energy into this. Tell us more. They regret breaking your heart. Whoa, what did they do? They regret causing you anxiety. What did they do? Okay, they're regretting causing trouble in your life. This is the card of the universe helping you out of choppy waters, but they didn't help you out of choppy waters. So they could have been kind of serious. You could have been having a hard time or something and they didn't make it better. They didn't like lift you out of that and romance you and help you out of those choppy waters. They didn't make things better for you, lifted your energy. They regret that. Wow, something harsh has gone down here, Charles. Let me know what it is in the comments. What did they do? There's a lot to regret here. Wow. The serious cards right there. 3 of Swords and the 9 of Swords and the 6 of Swords. That's a lot of pain right there on the table. What are they regretting? Anything else? Ace of Cups, again, that's like the dance with joy. That's the not making you feel really good. They could have been quite kind of serious and critical and not, you know, just not made you happy. This is someone that's not made you happy. Page of Cups. So they're regretting not either offering you more love or having like higher hopes for this, bigger dreams for this. Like, it's almost like your person didn't expect much from this relationship and didn't offer much into it, and they're really regretting doing that. There's something they've done something to break your heart, or they didn't step up and make you happy. This is not someone that's kind of gone in to a healthy relationship wanting to love someone kind of thing, you know, put you on a pedestal and really love you and make you feel great and romance you and all of that. They're regretting not doing that. It feels to me like they've just like taken, you could have been going through troubles already in other parts of your life and they've just added to that. That's what it feels like to me, and they regret doing that. Wow, this is a bit heavy. Okay, 3 of Swords. Tell us why is the 3 of Swords here? They regret breaking your heart. What did they do, Charles? They regret breaking your heart. Leaving you out of things, choosing something else. Your person had options. They broke your heart. They chose someone else, or they just left you out of it. So they pushed you away. They either chose someone else or something else. They made something else a priority, or someone else a priority. They had options. They regret doing that. They regret breaking your heart now. It just feels to me like they added to your woes here. This is not someone that's like, it's not someone that's come in and loved you. It's someone that's come in and heaped more on your shoulders or heaped more pain on you. Ouch. What's behind this? Death. Your person's a disappointment. And I feel like that they've got a habit of doing this, disappointing people. It just seems to be the way that they operate. They could have always been like that. It's a pattern of theirs. They don't bring joy to a situation. They just bring, maybe not darkness, but they don't bring any happiness to situations. There's darkness about them here, and that needs to end. They need to turn that around. They need to get a positive mindset and then start bringing some, they need to start like bring some energy into the room and lift it up. This person would have felt like a dead weight to you, making your life worse. Certainly not an uplifting energy. They regret not being that uplifting energy. They could keep on doing this, and they're like, why? You know, they might be asking themselves if they've got any level of self-awareness each time. How come I don't do that? Why don't I have fun? Or get into a relationship? Why don't I have fun with them? Why don't I romance them? You know, they could be questioning themselves about that. It depends on their level of awareness. Some people, no. So they regret causing you anxiety here. They regret adding to your anxiety, causing you pain. What's behind this? The Nine of Swords. What's behind the Nine of Swords here? Shells. A lot, apparently. The Four of Inspiration, the Hermit, and the Two of Inspiration. Again, it's about the choice of what they did. They regret causing you anxiety because of the choice that they made. Something to do with about a Hermit and Four of Inspiration. So this could be that the Four of Inspiration can be a wedding. It could be that they didn't pull themselves away from a marriage that they were in. They didn't make that choice. Or it could be that they had a celebration to go to and they didn't invite you to that. Hermit, they might have lied to you about it as well. So the Hermit energy, withdrawing their energy from that. Or they didn't go along with you to a celebration that you invited them to, and that really hurt you. It could be that too. So just take this as it resonates. They caused you anxiety because they didn't go to a celebration with you. It's like a Hallmark movie plot. Your best friend or your sister or brother's getting married and they were supposed to come with you, but they've got some work to do instead and they took the serious option. They stayed home instead. They made the wrong choice there. Or they were invited to something and didn't invite you. Something like that. Or they're married and they haven't bothered getting out of that relationship. Causing you anxiety there. How dare they come in if that's the case? Like, what are these married people doing? Getting into relationships when they're not even free yet? I don't get it. I really don't get it. It's happened to me a few times now. And I find out that they're married. I'm like, what are you even doing? Why are you pursuing relationships if you're already in one? What's behind this? Truth. You don't want to tell the truth. Yeah, so your person could just be a truth avoider. Do you know what I mean? A liar. It's what I'm saying. A liar. They're a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Six of Swords. They regret not helping you out. They've just added the same energy to energy that was already in your life. They've not been an uplifter. They've not helped you out. They've not helped you out of that a difficult place that you're in. They've been the opposite. They've added Six of Inspiration, so they've not helped you like have a victory in yourself. You might have told your person your woes here, and they've just given you more of the same, and that could have really hit you hard, your self-esteem hard, because you're like, why would you do that? You already know that I was hurting. Why would you hurt me even more? Why would you add to that? You knew I was having a problem with this, and you've done exactly the same thing to me. It's that kind of an energy. I'm sorry that you've been through this. Whatever it is that you've been through. But they didn't help you to a victory there. They just added to it. And it kind of got a law of attraction feel to this. In other words, it feels maybe like you were holding a particular energy. And unfortunately, you're going to attract people that will give you more of that same energy. not someone. So if you're holding this, you expect you loving yourself and inspiring yourself and uplifting yourself and choosing good people in your life and things to do that inspire you and uplift your energy, and you're in that positive mindset and you're listening to very productive things that inspire you, reading inspirational books, you're just pouring into your pot, you're giving to yourself, you're in that place of self-love where you are just choosing things in your life that uplift you, then you're going to attract people in that will do the same, that are doing that for them, that want to do that for you. But if you're not in that situation, and that's what it feels like to me here, you're going to attract someone like this that just adds insult to injury kind of thing. You're already feeling bad and they just make it worse. They're not doing it on purpose. It's the law of attraction. You attract someone that does the same, offers you that same energy, burdens you here. They just put more burdens on your shoulders. And then you ask, why did you do that? You knew I was already in this situation. And they don't know. They're not doing it on purpose. It's just who they are. You've attracted someone that's a match to your energy now. It's not a match to what you give out to others. It's a match to how you're feeling about yourself. You could be trying to inspire other people and do things for other people and lift other people up. But if you're not doing that for yourself, it doesn't matter what you're trying to give out to others. It's how you feel about yourself. It's what you're doing for yourself. So it might be time for you. We'll get into the deeper dive anyway, but it probably sounds like it is time for you to put that self-love in yourself. You deserve to have uplifting people in your life, but that's not going to happen if you don't start uplifting yourself, making those good choices. I try to have everything in my life to uplift me. Take care of myself first. The food I eat, going to make me feel really good. The exercise that I do, the place that I live in, I really take good care of myself now, and I'm careful with the people that I allow into my life now. And I wasn't even a couple of years ago. I wasn't, but I am now. And if I slip up occasionally and find myself watching the news or something that brings me down, I quickly write that and I try and listen and I subscribe to the YouTube channels that lift me up, to teach me something. I try and nourish myself with that. Very rarely do I'll watch movies, but very rarely will I do anything that takes my energy down. I tend to switch it off if I find that it's doing that. And you need to get to that point here. Anyway, we'll get into that, into your advice and your guidance in the deeper dive. Ace of Cups, the regret not making you feel really good here. I don't think this person is even capable of making someone feel good. I don't think they're feeling really good about themselves. Well, they're obviously not, hey. Got a lot of regrets here, a lot of regrets. Knight of Emotions and like offering you something positive here. Regret like not giving you like a good love offer and like taking you out on a decent date, making you feel really good and all of that. What's behind this? Self-love. They don't love themselves. That's what it is. So you're kind of a self-love match, or a lack of self-love match here. You and this person. Page of Cups. So the regret not having like higher hopes for this, not reaching for higher, not asking for more, not expecting more of this relationship. And the chaos and conflict. So it's almost like they expected more chaos and conflict. That's all they were willing to put into it. Burdens and negative energy and all of that. Very negative situation going on here. And they regret that, but the person hasn't found self-love either. Well, if they're not uplifting themselves, they're not going to be able to uplift you. And that's even an understatement here, because it feels like they've not, it's heavy, this one. It's kind of really low energy. They just don't have very much to offer at all, this person. And it must be a mirror to you. You've not been loving yourself in that way. Otherwise, it wouldn't have happened. Forgiveness. They want your forgiveness here. This is just someone that can't help themselves because they're not loving themselves. And I feel like you're in the same situation here. Unfortunately, it's a match. And as much as when we're in all of this energy, in this low energy, feeling burdened, not feeling very good about ourselves, we wish that the universe would send a knight in shining armor here to love us in the way that we can't love ourselves. It never happens that way. We hope that we've met a knight in shining armor, but they just pile more crap onto us. Because that's the law of attraction. You have to be the energy that you want. And as I said, it's not about giving that energy out to others, it's about giving that energy to yourself. What are they regretting? What else are they regretting? Worth waiting for. They could have regretted waiting. It very much seems to me like your person needs to, both of you need to have time by yourself, loving yourself, learning to love yourselves before you try and get into a relationship. You're just going to disappoint people, both of you, it feels here, and be disappointed by yourselves and by others. What else are they regretting? Meditating and contemplating before they take action, yeah. And your emotions running high. Maybe the wrong emotions here, letting the wrong emotions. So your person biding the time, they're really regretting not biding the time and maybe thinking about it a bit more. So emotions running high, they could have let their anger take over. This could be one of those people. They don't seem to have a lot of emotions apart from happiness and anger. Could be one of those. Peacefulness, so they regret, not bringing peace to your life. So they could be angry, argumentative kind of thing. Because they don't feel it, self-love. Passion and love, they regret not bringing this to the relationship. The good times, passion, love, unconditional love. Okay. So let's get a message from their heart to your heart. So if their heart can give you a message right now, what would they want to say to you? What would they want to say to you? Maybe about these regrets or about this situation? Two things. They want to say new love. Find someone else. Embrace an opportunity for love in your work prospects or for spiritual growth. This is like they're saying to you, they hope that you find a new love, someone that can love you right. They realize that they've let you down here, and they're saying you are limitless. You can do anything you choose. Like, choose better. They know that they're bad news for you here. This is someone that knows that. Like I said, they've got very low energy here. So, there you go. If that sounds like it is your story or could be your story, Charles, I'm sorry to hear that, but you might want to get some advice to turn this around. So let's get you on a track to having a good relationship, someone that can uplift you and bring some good energy into your life and not burden you more and make you feel worse, huh? So if you're interested in that deeper dive for that guidance, I'll pop a link for it up there. There's also a link in the description box and in the comments as well. It's just 20 Australian dollars, which is about 15 American dollars right now. It's an instant download, so do make sure you get your email address right, otherwise you're not going to receive it. It might end up in your inbox, but it might also end up in your spam, your junk, or your promotions folder, so do check in those places for it. In that email, you'll find a link to the crystal, to the flower, and to the shell. All you need to do is click on that shell, and you'll be able to watch that straight away. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to comment on this video. It really helps out my channel. I might not have to turn the music up so loud, because if I turn the music up loud, you'll start complaining about it, and it helps my channel because you'll start commenting on it. And so it would be so nice if you all commented on it when you're feeling good about this or when you're getting good information from it instead. Much more positive feedback loop coming in here, helping me and my channel out. That would be great. Don't forget to click like on this video as well. That really helps me out too. And consider subscribing, clicking that notification bell to hear when I upload my YouTube videos, but also when I go live as well in my Psychic Cafe show 3 times a week. I'd love for you to come along now and get some personal guidance in there. So thanks again for watching. If this is where you're leaving me, good luck with this relationship. And if you're coming with me to the extended deeper dive, then I'll see you very shortly in there. Bye.